Hey folks, what's up? Thanks for checking out I Suck at Painting. Today we're going to take a look at an easy way to paint old leather straps and belts. Okay, so for demonstrating this leather, I'm going to use this Orc Boy body because these straps are pretty big, so it should be easy to see. When I do these, I like to start out with a really dark neutral brown. Obviously you can use whatever colors you want, but what I'm going to be using is this charred brown, the dark flesh tone orange brown, and this dark sand. These two are going to be obviously more for highlights and scratches, and these are going to be for, well, these two really are going to be more for the texture of the actual leather itself. The only thing I've done here is just base coated with the charred brown. That's all I've done so far. So the first thing we're going to do is start to get some texture on here, and we're going to use this dark flesh tone. I'm going to use this homemade stipple brush. I just cut this off. It's a stiff bristle brush, and then kind of went in at an angle and snipped out a bunch of these bristles so it's all jagged. And I just thinned this down with some glaze medium, probably about 2 to 1, and you can see how thin it is. There's not a lot on there. So all we're going to do with this is we're just going to start to build some texture. Oh, it's too much. If there's too much on it, you can just pull it off with your finger. We're just building texture. So it's not going to be super apparent at first, which is okay, because we're going to do this a couple times. So I'll go around the rest of this, let this dry, probably hit it once or twice more, and I'll come back when that's finished. Okay, so I went and hit that 2 more times off camera. Hopefully you can see. Just have a little bit of variation in the browns, dark browns there. We're just trying to build texture at this point. So what we're going to do with this orange brown is we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to dab off, and we're just going to kind of randomly stick this in here. This is thin enough to where it's going to really mellow out when it dries. So if it looks a bit stark now, it's okay. And make sure to hit these spots here where the straps curve around the metal parts. And if you have some spots like this where you don't really want it, just pull it away with another brush. Get that part in there to be dark. So this is done exactly the same way. So I will go around a couple more times and come back when that's finished. Alright, so I went through and hit that 2 more times off camera. Cat hair. It's inevitable when you have cats. Hit that 2 more times, and this is where we are at right now. On the palette here I have just the same orange brown, only thinned down a little bit. I'm using a very small brush for this. And we're going to start doing some of the details. What we want to do is hit these spots where the leather straps wrap around. Here. So we'll go all around those. To give a little extra on the outside. Just a little line through the middle. Okay. And then we're going to start doing some scratches. Hopefully you can see that. Just those little thin lines is what we're going for. Now the other thing we're going to do is get a little bit of this. We're going to go along the edges of these and just kind of dot the edges. It's not an edge highlight like you would do like for a Space Marine or something like that. You want this to be rough. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. I'll go ahead and finish the rest of these and come back when that's finished. Alright, so I did the rest of these. This was actually only one time over. As you can see, the edges are just dots, little slashes and dots to rough up the edge. Just those little fine scratch lines going across. So it's time to go on to the next part, which is going to be this tan color. It's dark sand. The only thing that I've done to this is I've added a little bit of flaw improver. That's it. And what we're going to do with this is pretty much the same thing, but we're going to be a lot more selective and do a lot less of it on here. So again, we're just going to give some scratches. This is a little thin lines like that. Hopefully you can see that. Just very thin. And we're going to do even less of these. Like I might do one or two on each of these parts that you can see here. But that's going to be it as far as the scratches go. Alright, then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the edges, but we're going to be more sparing than we were with the orange brown. I'm just going to kind of dot these in. You can make some longer, some shorter. Just going to make it look a little more natural. We just want to dot. Dots and dashes, like Vince says. And that's pretty much it for this part. So I'll go ahead and finish these. That's kind of what you're going for. So I'll go and finish up these straps and come back when these are done. Okay, the dark sand is finished, and this is where we're at. It is pretty stark right now, but that's okay. That's kind of what we want. Our last step is going to take care of that. But before we get to that, the last part of the details is to use a black. I don't really like to use true black on this, so I have this black gray model color. And this is only for scratches, so we're going to do just very, very few of these, and we want to put these kind of right next to where the white ones are. And we want to use these very sparingly. We can just maybe get a little one here and there. But where those dark sand ones are, we want to put this near black right next to those. And you can do little dots here and there, and stuff like that. We don't really want to do a lot with this. Just scratches. That's kind of what we want it to look like. So for the final step, we're going to wash this or glaze it. You can use whatever wash or glaze you happen to like. In this case, I'm going to go for this wood grain. You could also do something like Agrax mixed with like the flesh tone wash, or if you have inks that you like. I like this wood grain because it's a reddish brown, and I'm only going to thin this down a tiny bit, like probably 2 to 1 with the wood grain to glaze medium. We're just going to cover what we've done. This is going to bring all of those colors together. It's going to mute the really bright ones and give them all this brownish red tone. So just go ahead and cover everything. This is actually a very easy way to do this aged leather look, and I happen to like it a lot. If you feel like you went too bright, you can use your final wash or glaze. Don't thin it down so much. And we'll let that dry. Come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so before I show you this guy all dried up, I just wanted to say thank you to all the subscribers. Thanks for being here. And if you're new here and you like easy stuff like this, be sure to go downstairs and do all the things, like the like button, subscribe button, especially the notification button, the Genghis Khan did nothing wrong button,